predictions in, either in the Twitch chat or on Twitter. We're using the hashtag RLCS. A best of 5 to determine who's going to the Championship Series, who's going to the Rival Series. It's our last match. FIBEON versus Emotion with a commentary. Wave Pump, compatible carpet. Take it away, guys.
It's Accelerado Boost, Axel Toss. Come on, it came in the Zippy DLC. We all know this stuff, right?
Did he call it the Rainbow Boost?
No, he said that the Rainbow Boost also makes
music.
sounds. And the Hearts Boost also makes sounds. But he was like, no, but it is rainbowy. Accelerado is very rainbowy.
How many times are we going to correct you today, Axel?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
Well, this will probably be the last time.
Yeah.
Stev uses that boost, by the way. Stev, who we have.
He uses Accelerado?
Yeah, he uses Accelerado. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. I get distracted.
Like when you're like,
and I just want to keep pressing it.
That was a good impression, dude. Like, and when you're like feathering boost, it's like.
When it came out, I loved it, and then I realized I lost every game because I was just like.
It's like when I use burnout, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to use it every time I drift turn.
Yep.
And I just use all the boosts in all the wrong places just so I look cool, you know?
Also, I like lose track of where things are in the air.
I wonder what cool boosts we'll see in this match. I have not seen Emotion play anytime recently. So these guys, Seabass, Illusion, and Ty, not Tyler. I wonder if he get mad if we called him Tyler. That's kind of the whole point of his name.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what kind of cars they drive though, because I don't see. We've seen some cars like people drive like stock octanes. Yeah. We've seen some like really decked out cars today. I'd be excited to see what we see.
I've heard of and seen around Seabass and Ty, not Tyler. But right now they're going against Chicago Zol and Hato, a team that was doing so well early today. Got knocked down by quite a promising team. So I think they're here and they really want to make it to RLCS. They've proven themselves so much over the summer and they really want to solidify that.
And they have to feel good that no matter what, you're either in the Rival Series or you're in the Championship Series, but both these teams want the opportunity to prove themselves against the top 8 of North America. And FIBEON, with so much hype built up around them, this is not the start they were hoping for. Ty's going to put that one through, and that's Emotion on the board.
Yeah, this one no one really knew what to do. No one decided on it. Chicago decided, and then the last second, Zol decided to come out. If he just stayed in net, he might have been able to, and Hato wanted to come down off the backboard, but he decided a little bit too late. A hiccup early on, but it's only one goal. You've got over 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. They can bounce back.
We'll see how the FIBEON boys here were able to play against the previous FIBEON boys. Could be a case of Chicago Zolhe and Hato were the problem if Emotion were able to win this. You know, they'd like to prove to their old org that they should have stuck with us. Right now, Seabass in the midfield, Zol with the read. Ty now in the back. Chicago to try and send this one back around as Seabass gets a nice long clear. Ty up to try. Redirected towards the net. Does not make contact and is now out of play. Zol and Hato moving up together. You're looking for Hato in the mid. He's going to go off the backboard first. And just what a play by Zol to get that one past Ty. I felt for certain Ty would be able to contest.
Yeah, Hato thought so too.
Yeah.
That's why Hato wasn't there. He was sure that would have been contested, some sort of 50-50. But he wasn't able to get that pass.
Zol gets bumped in front of their own net, so he won't, in front of the blue net, he won't be able to take a shot. Now Chicago airborne with an opportunity to redirect towards the net. Is on target, but Seabass has the block. Chicago will just rotate back. Hato and Illusion getting a bit tangled up there. It'll be Zol to pop over Ty. Now Chicago, another opportunity off the backboard and down in front of the net. Hato keeps it grounded. Chicago off the post twice now. Zol will take another shot, but Illusion's got the time to get in the way and block. They'll keep that one away. Emotion keeps their 1-0 lead.
Right now, FIBEON has full control. 4 shots right now, only 2 saves for Emotion. So some of these just eking by, just hitting the side or the crossbar. It seems like they have a lot of control, but they have to watch out for counterattacks.
Zol riding up. Trying to play it away. Chicago coming off the backboard now. Down Hato. And pitches that one through on a second touch. And it's going to fall in front of the net. Chicago's there and misses. He totally was expecting Illusion to get a block, and he was looking for the dunk, but Illusion does not make contact. And again, the ball just lurks right in front of the goal, just kind of just walks on by with nobody pushing it through. And the 1-goal lead stays in Emotion's favor here as we cross halftime.
Right now, you see FIBEON trying to play the player, not the ball. They're constantly trying to read their opponents and their touch or their contests, which is usually a good thing to do. You want to respect your opponents. Oh, is this
drop it down? Oh, Chicago will play that one away. Nice double tap opportunity there. Going to come and go without being used. Ty will play this one off the wall past Chicago. Illusion to carry it down the field. Zol to play it away. Hato moves out of net immediately before Chicago rotates behind him. And look at this touch from Chicago just to put it over the top of the last defender.
To be able to get this Bob and keep it under crossbar is incredible. He got the jump and he wanted to make sure that the momentum of his car didn't push it up into the crossbar. He let it hit the front of his car, let it dip down, let the momentum of the ball hit his car and push him down instead. Incredible touch from Chicago, tying the game up with 2 minutes remaining.
I just love that you called it a bop.
A bop, a boop, a doot.
It's so hard to get this bop and keep it under the crossbar. Is that? Can we just call that? It's like an aerial doink.
Doink.
You just kind of just, like, it would be you doink, but just kind of like popped up in the air. Just like literally you just press jump and nothing else. That's a bop.
Doink.
Doink's fun too.
Air doink.
Air doink. Oh man, Hato gonna look to back pass this one towards Zol. 1:30 left to go here in game one. Still a best of 5, has been all day. First of 3, moves into RLCS. Ty and Illusion on the corner. Nice clear downfield. Chicago will kill this. Actually lose ball control, but Zol's right behind him. They get it past Ty now. A 1v2. Seabass going to be in a tough situation, and Chicago just shoots far post and gets the lead back for FIBEON.
I almost called Chicago out for not using the pass. There were 2 of them. He could have slowed this down, and him and Zol could have worked together, but it doesn't matter. He was able to pull Seabass to the side just enough to where he could sneak it past him on the far post. So Chicago, I apologize. I will not.
We've talked about this plenty of times. Just the fact that those passing options were there is what made Seabass unable to block the shot. He didn't know what to cover. So the fact that Chicago just went for the easiest option for him to shoot, but Ty finds a way through and ties the game back up.
Ty, why you look so sad? It's your 2nd goal of the game. Look at that face.
Ty just tied the game.
But he looks so sad.
It's a tie ball game, Carpet.
No. You went all day, Wave. All day without one.
Oh, that one was right there. That was
you were
easy.
so close.
Like, we have gone 0 days without a wave puck pun.
That is true.
Without a wave pun. Chicago over to Hato. Play it back in the middle. Zol to take a shot downfield. Final minute of game number 1, and it's tied up between Emotion and FIBEON, both playing their hearts out to try and get into RLCS. Zol wraps this one around the corner. Ty up with a response. He'll play it back again, but he's kind of alone right now. Seabass again into the corner. Now Hato's in to take another shot towards the net. Ty with the save in the top of the crossbar. Upper 90, doesn't matter, gets it away. But the passes continue to come through from FIBEON. So much defense having to be played by Emotion right now as FIBEON is knocking on the door, trying to get this one through. Hato looking for the pass out, but Illusion will get in the way. Zol to try and slow it down and just pile up all the Emotion players alongside him. But Seabass able to get that one out in front of the box. Illusion's there, puts it through, and Emotion has the lead with 12 seconds left.
Right now, it seems like they're dedicating a lot to the play, but it pays off for them. Starting off with that 50-50 at that boost that hadn't spawned just yet. Ty then waiting to be that 3rd man, but it didn't even need him. Seabass and Illusion push it through. 12 seconds left. They had the lead in the 1st game.
Zol now. Can they finish this off in 10 seconds? They need a buzzer beater. And Seabass is just going to put it onto the back wall. They're going to have to get the full court carry if they want to make this happen. It's a good start from Zol, but Seabass to shut it down. It'll touch the ground in Emotion, coming through the lower bracket in a way that people were not expecting. A team basically nobody was talking about takes game 1 of the 3 they need to qualify for the RLCS.
They're playing super clean, but there were a few opportunities that FIBEON could have had. And just look at the shot differential right there. 6 shots to 12. FIBEON had double the shots of Emotion, and they just weren't able to sink it through. Maybe just that one more drive. A lot of times you'll watch a defense start to fall apart, and they're just one more push away from finally letting a goal in, but they're able to gain just enough control, get the perfect 50-50, get a great pinch out or something of that nature, or snag a corner boost so they have control of it. That one extra one sometimes, just that one little push. High risk, high reward, and they were so close. 1 goal and double the shots. That means that FIBEON technically is having more control of the game, but they're just unable to finally put that in.
And we saw there at the end, the last minute or so, FIBEON with just a massive onslaught and Emotion having to make the most last-ditch effort saves to keep this game tied up and then able to get the counterplay back down the field. It looked like FIBEON was absolutely going to score with how much pressure they were putting on, and props to Emotion for being able to hold on.
And a team that we're saying right now, we have yet to really see here. These players I haven't really spectated much in a competitive setting. Here they are right now, taking it to a team that everyone was really pushing for to make it into RLCS. They've shown themselves, especially lately in 2s and in 3s. They've been taking series off of all the top teams. I don't know which ones they haven't beat, but they've really been taking a lot of teams to at least the final games of the series, really putting a lot of goals up. So they have the skill. And right now, to see Emotion come out and play this well is it's quite the feat.
Now, I was talking about their cars earlier. I'm a little disappointed. It's just 6 octanes.
Are you surprised?
Nope, not surprised at all, but that doesn't mean that I can't dream a little bit.
A man can hope.
I can always hope to see, you know, a Ripper in a game someday.
A Grog and a Ripper.
Yeah, a Scarab. You know, why not?
Marky Duda, do to him.
Driving that backfire. Zol to send this one over off of a pinch. And it is now FIBEON trailing in the series by 1 game. Moving to game 2, they'll be looking to tie it back up. Zol in the air. The contest will drop it into the orange box, but no presence from the Emotion roster. Means it moves back out to midfield.
Nice carry.
Ty be able to give another opportunity here. The 50-50s right now definitely going in Emotion's favor as Zol nearly puts that in his own net. Plays it across towards the boost. Another wrap it back down to the corner. Ty will block it before it gets there. Chicago to send it high, and Seabass now back out into the middle. The ball spending more time near the ceiling right now. It feels like near the ground. How much these players are just lofting very high. Give themselves lots of time to move around underneath the bottom. First minute came and went without any points being scored. Well, it was a pretty low-scoring game, number 1. Only 5 goals scored in total. Players keeping it even. Zol will be looking for Chicago, who gets the demolition onto Ty, but immediately filled back in by Seabass. Good, solid defensive rotation there from Emotion.
I don't know if you can tell, when Emotion's on offense, they really are shutting down FIBEON, forcing the hard clears. I talked about it a bit earlier in a previous series. Even when they do get boost, make them use it. Just force them to try and fall that ball out. Let the one person who did snag that boost waste it all and just clear it right back.
Hado out to Chicago. The loft downfield, Seabass will be able to play it away before it drops into the net. And Hado a bit loose in the enemy net. This is going to be a 2v2 situation, and Ty just gets it straight past, takes the shot outright, and Emotion has the lead.
This is probably on Zol. I know he wanted to slow this down, but why? Let it go to the corner at that point. They're not going to have a good angle. He has to follow it through. There's a lot of space. I suspect he thought someone was closer.
Yeah.
And his team in the mid, I mean, the defensive passes have proven to be strong. But if there's no one there, you legitimately just gave up a free goal.
Ty through the air. What a fake here as it drops in. You saw the defender looking for it, but doesn't matter. Literally a kickoff goal here for Illusion.
I haven't seen this in a long time.
Whew.
And again, respect. Hado expecting Ty to hit it off the backboard. He just wanted to interrupt, get in the way, not let it bounce perfectly in, but he didn't even touch it. I really wish they just had a button, like yes, intentional, not intentional.
Yeah.
So I could just say yes or no.
Yeah.
I want to give him the credit, but sometimes it's really hard to tell.
Just tell us what you meant. I mean, at this point, I just give it credit to them.
Would you trust them, even if they said that, though?
Yeah, they're the top 32-something Rocket League players in North America. At this point, I'm just going to believe them if they tell me they did it on purpose. 2 players off to the side, completely open net for Chicago to send this one down. Easy goal here, and that'll be FIBEON on the board. Bit of a massive double commit here.
Yeah, it looked like the sweat might have started to show up.
Yeah.
FIBEON might have started to get really scared, being down 2 goals, half a game left. But now it's 1 goal. You essentially have, in theory, infinite time to get it.
Sure.
As long as it doesn't touch the ground, 0 seconds, you can get it done. But right now they are close, but they are still down a game in the series, surprisingly. But Emotion's playing well.
Yeah, and FIBEON follows the storyline of 2 teams that came before them. Momentum in Season 2 and Iris in Season 3, a team that was very hyped pre-season because they were winning everything and beating all the big teams and then did not qualify. And right now, they have to win this series to break that storyline. Right now, Emotion's making them work for it. The lead in the series and the lead in the game. 2 more wins from Emotion. They qualify for RLCS and steal it away from their former org, FIBEON. Chicago slowing this one way down. Ty will flick it high, but Zol already up, sending the shot towards the net. Seabass will get there, send it away. Here comes Hado. The 50-50 goes in his favor, but he's very loose. He'll pick up that midfield boost. He might be able to immediately turn and contest, but Chicago comes in first, takes a shot towards the net, and they'll be back off to the races here to try and get this game tied back up. 1:30 left to go, still the 1-goal lead for Emotion.
FIBEON keeps forcing double commits on Emotion on defense, but they just can't continue to push it through. Even with double commits, they're doing a great job of clearing it out and not allowing angles for FIBEON to try and push it back into their half.
Seabass to the corner, looked for the demo on Hado and Chicago, but came up dry on both. Now an empty backfield. Hato has to take a lot of time getting up to that one, and the 50-50 goes in Seabass's favor, straight towards Ty. Chicago's there to contest. He'll buy some time for his teammates, but Ty will definitely come out with ball control, the ability to pinch it in front of the net. Chicago's there before Seabass can get into there. He's in the back corner getting boost. This one lofted. Zol looked to drop it, just completely misses, and Hato's going to make a very sloppy touch as he expected Zol to make contact. Seabass now to follow this one through, and it's Chicago that has to bail out the FIBEON roster here. Zol again missing and unable to make contact in the way he's meaning to in the air. Maybe Chicago with a slow game, trying to bait in players. But Ty never got behind that ball, takes the shot down the field, a 2-goal lead. Emotion with 32 seconds left. Looks to go up 2 games in this series.
They had to commit hard for this, but there it is, Hato and Zol, unaware of how each other is playing. Hato turned around thinking Zol was going to contest it, and then Hato would come up for whatever that 50-50 did, but Zol bailed instead. But Hato had already turned around, had no more momentum, and left it wide open. 2 goals up, about to be 2 games up in the series. Our Emotion about to give us the upset of the day.
Zol and Hato down by 2 right now, needing to score immediately to have the possibility of scoring the equalizer. Hato over to the side. Chicago will let it pinch high. At this point, Zol needs to be able to boom this one down, but he gets bumped up with Chicago in the corner. If that's not going to end it, I don't know what will. This will be Emotion. 2 games up, 1 game away from qualifying for RLCS and sweeping one of the favorites of today, FIBEON. Can you believe this right now?
Something, 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 glass case of Emotion.
Oh my goodness, FIBEON has to, we've said this term a few times today, and it hasn't happened yet, but FIBEON has to reverse sweep if they want to make it into RLCS.
That is quite a daunting task, and they have the skill to do it. But Emotion are playing clean, and they're playing fast when they need to. Not many mistakes. We have seen a couple of defensive hiccups, so you'll see double commits, but they're putting it just far enough out, just clearing it far enough to where FIBEON doesn't have the mechanical skill to turn it around quick enough, or it's just not possible with the way the ball is bouncing out. So even through the defensive mistakes, Emotion are still gaining control. They're keeping the pressure on FIBEON in their own half. They're constantly shutting down everything. I mean, they're playing clean. There's no getting away around it.
We thought with the experience that Chicago and Hato got at the Universal Open, there was a chance that having that sort of LAN experience already under your belt would give them a bit of the resolve they needed to make it through these qualifiers, which are so daunting. So many of the pros say this is the hardest part of RLCS, is just qualifying, because you mess up once and you don't get to play for the whole season here. And Emotion coming into this as underdogs of like, people aren't expecting us to do much, so let's just play well. They definitely have the morale game on their side, and FIBEON has to find a way to dig down right now, pull on those experiences they've had over the past few months, going and competing against the top teams and win 3 straight, or else their spot goes to Emotion and they'll get to compete in the top 8 of North America. Let's see how this one pans out. Oh man, Seabass and Ty right up on the kickoff. Gonna lose on the side. Zol to try and play it through. Seabass now into an empty backfield. Can he ground in time? Chicago who plays this one away. Ty up as well. The 50-50 game being won out heavily by Emotion throughout the entirety of this series. A big part of what has them so far in the lead. And Hato unable to get a double tap off that backboard. It looks like the nerves are creeping in, Carpet.
This is what I was scared of, and it was like a big part of me predicting where they were going to be coming into today, and I think the nerves are really starting to cave in. They started to get a lot of momentum with fan base, a lot of the pros and a lot of the analysts, you know, kind of vying for them to make it to RLCS, but that means they have to prove themselves, and it could be too much today. Oh, Chicago completely out of position after missing that air touch, and Hato unable to get a solid clear. Zol in behind the ball is only going to be able to just pop it high and keep the easy shot from coming through. You know, finally be able to pick it up off of the touches from Illusion. The first minute will come and go. Nobody scored here. Emotion wanting to do it here in game 3 with a sweep over FIBEON. It only takes 1 goal for them to send it into RLCS. Just have to hold on. Right now, either team can do it. Hato up and in the enemy corner. He'll rotate back and allow Zol to move up. Seabass now down the field. And it doesn't really feel like we're seeing FIBEON in particular going for anything more than wraparound corner plays or just putting it up on the backboard. They're going very, very few plays in the midfield, which we know they can make. They're capable of the small ball passes, and that might be the way around this defense right now. I mean, they've had a couple mistakes, and I think at this point they're too scared to make them again. They don't want to give it up on something silly. I think they'd rather lose because they got outplayed, not because they made a mistake. So they're trying to just play smooth and clean. But look at how much that we see Emotion trusting each other. They'll let one person go up, get a couple of contests, get a couple 50-50s. They don't stifle each other. They're spaced out and they're just waiting for
What a shot from Illusion! Are you kidding me? Out of the corner. This is a play as we've seen from any of the top 8 teams, doing it all by himself. What a play to give his team the lead.
I don't know from the angle that you saw if you knew exactly how close that was to hitting the corner.
No, what?
That was unbelievably close. He barely snuck that in. And now again, 1 goal up. This is the game. This is the game to put them into the RLCS.
All they have to do is hold on to this score line, and they get to play in the big leagues. FIBEON has to try and play up through the rival series to get a chance for next season. Zol now with an opportunity to tie the game is unable to get it on target, and Seabass will play it away. Ty now to play it over. And the 50-50s again going so much in Emotion's favor. 2 players up, but Seabass stays grounded, so they'll have at least 1 line of defense still in position and having to read. Ty has to get this one off the post. Actually, he manages to get the save after getting tangled up on the edge. One of the most difficult things to recover from. And Chicago just has to lightly touch this one away to keep the lead from increasing here for Emotion.
FIBEON too scared to get creative. We just see him bouncing off the backboard over and over and over again. And Emotion see this. They're just waiting in net for it to try and come contest it out. And it's so difficult to dedicate yourself to a backboard touch since it's so easy now for these top players to just clear it out.
Ty down to the side. Zol shot towards net, and Seabass reverses the direction. Hato now goes onto the crossbar uncontested, but Illusion has the read on the landing. It bounced very wide off the backboard. Chicago will look to dribble this one out, and Illusion just looking to play bully in net. Ty will keep the pressure on, and Zol and Hato just have to play it to the side. They have no other options but to keep it over and away. 1:30 left to go, and FIBEON, a favorite coming in with their backs against the wall. A laser beam of a shot from Ty to give the 2-goal lead now to Emotion.
And that's the counterattack. Chicago felt forced into a touch, and at that point, maybe you just want to sit next to the ball. Just let the 50-50 happen since you probably have a third teammate that's too far, but that is the execution of a counterattack. You're precise. You take the shot you need to at the pace you need to, and within seconds, you put another goal up.
Now, FIBEON was... It just, the difference between a 1-goal margin and a 2-goal margin, just, it feels so different. Where the 1 goal, anything can happen. A wild pinch could tie up the game, and you could play into 0-second time. Now they have to score. They absolutely have to score to be able to play into that 0-second time at the end of the game to send it to overtime. Hato has a nice loft around Chicago, airborne to possibly finish it off, but Seabass is away, and Illusion immediately grounds himself after the double commit. In the final minute, possibly, of the series, if Emotion is able to hold on to this and relegate FIBEON down to the rival series, Seabass over the top of Chicago, not even a 50-50, just outright winning the battle in the air. Illusion now airborne, the 50-50 again going in his favor. Now Hato gonna pick it up off of the bounce, and a demolition onto the players in goal gives an opportunity, but just no one's able to make solid contact. 24 seconds left. And FIBEON over the top of 1. They have to score now if they want a chance. They have to do it or they're going to be done. Here goes 1. They find a way through. The screen from the player up drew out the defender, and they have a chance.
15 seconds. Wave. 15 seconds to stay alive. If not, Emotion will move on to be one of the top 8 teams in the RLCS.
15 seconds remaining. They can play into 0-second time if they keep the ball in the air. Chicago airborne, but loses the touch. And the final countdown begins of game 3. Ty towards the net, and Zol into the corner. Hato's just lofted in not a very helpful position. Illusion puts it in. The defenders are in the corner, and Emotion with 4 seconds remaining in this game. Hato rage quits out. He's gone. This game is going to Emotion.
Unbelievable. A team no one had their eyes on is going to lock themselves a spot into the RLCS. FIBEON will get knocked down in the RLRS, which is still a huge feat for them. They're a team that needs to prove themselves, and you and I had talked about it on overtime. This is the fear of these teams that get so much snowballing for them going into a qualifier when they're not used to the fame, they're not used to the pressure, so much riding on it. They were so close in the uppers. but not so close in the lowers. They just got swept by a team no one had their eyes on. Emotion.
Yeah.
They played clean, they played smart and fast. Really, really fast. And that I think is a huge part for them moving forward. FIBEON, they are in the RLRS.
Yes.
Are in the RLRS.
They are on the RLRS.
I think Rival Series is going to have to be what I call that. Because there's no way.
Series.
In
Exactly.
the Rival Series. Congrats to seriously both of the teams, but especially to Emotion for giving us an incredible end of the day.
A beautiful underdog story here. Will they be able to make waves in the RLCS? We will find out as the season continues. We'll get to see both these teams play, but for FIBEON, the preseason hype curse continues here for a third season in a row. The team that people were hyping up out of the teams, the rookies, not making it into RLCS. Can they make waves in the Rival Series? I think that they have definitely a great chance of being in the relegation tournament at the end of the year, but let's find out. Let's go back to Axel Toss. I want to hear what Gibbs has got to say about this.
Thank you, Wade Pumpkin. Finable carpet Emotion with the 3-0 sweep over FIBEON. I'm certainly a little bit surprised about that result, and that means Emotion will be your 8th team in North American League play. And of course, FIBEON, they had a great day altogether. I'm sure they were expecting a little bit better themselves. They had 2 chances to get into the RLCS, but they will have to settle for the Rival Series. But still a great showing from them. Let's take a look at the Mobile One High Performance replay from that matchup as Emotion takes the 3-0 sweep over FIBEON.
Talked about how this duo was going to be needed, and you saw it come out time and time again. But despite me talking about that duo, the one player that really blew me away was Illusion. The way he was taking those shots, those double touches, even his short contests like that bounced down to Ty, all over the field, really setting up his teammates.
But do not call this man Tyler. Ty came up huge this series as well, scoring 5 goals of the 9, but it was all about defense, which is what FIBEON was known for way back when they won that tournament. Over G2, over Energy, all that. It was all about their defense, and they gave up 3 goals in every single game. But Emotion only giving up 3 goals total. They did a great job there. Seabass didn't have to do as much. He was playing a little bit back. He was that defender for the most part for them, which will be maybe not have expected as much there. But FIBEON, they have to somehow bounce back. They have to play next week again in the Rival Series. I could easily see these 2 teams meeting up again in the Promotion Relegation Series. So could be some stories there, but Emotion, they're in the Championship Series. Who knows what can happen there? No matter what, though, they're going to get some great experience playing the best teams in the world.
I'm sure they are absolutely static as well. You remember the graphic we showed in the beginning of the show, how many teams signed up? I can't remember the number. Do any of y'all remember the number? A lot of teams signed up, and that was literally the final 2 teams left in the tournament playing for a spot in RLCS. Emotion getting it done. I'm sure after that ended, they're just fist pumping. They're incredibly excited, probably all over Twitter as well. Huge congrats to them. But now the real journey for them begins in league play of RLCS, because this grouping of teams is phenomenal. Let's take a look. Ladies and gents, your 8 teams for league play for North America are as follows: NRG, Rogue, FlyQuest, G2, C9, Ghost Renegades, and Emotion. Wow, what a great grouping of teams, guys.
We had all the top seeds make it until that very last series. We have Emotion, the 13 seed, making it in. They were supposed to be in those games, whereas 5 and 6, where you're playing for that last spot in the Rival Series, but they outperformed. They took out Hollywood Hammers. They took out Set to Destroy. Now they took out, of course, the last one, FIBEON, in a 3-0 sweep.
You know, there's always got to be one upset, but at the same time, they need to make sure they learn from what happened here. That aggressive, no consequence kind of style of gameplay is going to get punished heavily against teams like NRG and Cloud9 and Rogue, ones that aren't afraid to move up and challenge you when you're trying to make those transitions from offense to defense. It's going to be a great learning experience for them, but if they keep playing like they have been, it should be exciting.
Effectively the 8 best teams in North America, and we also have the next 8 to list out here. From the Rocket League Rivals Series, these matches will be happening on Fridays. Incognito, Set to Destroy, Ambition, Out of Style, Wildcard Gaming, Cypher, Premature, Superhero Cops, and FIBEON. I think one that sticks out to me there is Cypher. They made a lot of upsets happen. They were able to get that spot in the RLRS.
Yeah, and all these teams are really solid as well.
Yeah.
Every single season, we've been seeing more and more teams getting up to that level of play where they can take out the best of the best here or there. We saw some of those teams get some huge upsets. They couldn't quite finish it, so they're in the Rival Series. But that is a huge accomplishment as well, because again, we had like 2,700 teams sign up. We're down to 16, 8 and 8. So it's a huge accomplishment to be in either one of these series.
Yeah, it's exciting too. I mean, you got $50K up for the prize pool. You're going to be getting guaranteed money. You're going to be able to keep pursuing this career Rocket League. And that was always the problem, is in this offseason, it was 3 months of just community tournaments, and these guys were struggling. We put all these hours in. We don't get anything out of it other than just trying to hope we make it into RLCS next season. Now you have to, do it through 2 seasons, but at least there's something in that in between that guarantees money for these guys to pursue it. It's fantastic.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching those storylines unfold. And remember, the top 2 from the rival series, they get to play against the bottom 2 from the championship series to try to get into the next season of the Rocket League Championship Series. But it's time now to announce our Player of the Week, presented by Old Spice. Moms and sons agree. It basically smells itself. The winner is Sad Jr.
And I've smelled Sad a lot. He smells pretty good, but he could always use a little more Old Spice, that's for sure. Sad Jr. came up big in their series. He looked like the old days when he was that offensive juggernaut, playing a huge series versus Renegades, who were also a championship series team as well. So big series from him.
Yeah, I made a comment about him when he played for Denial last season about how it was exciting to see him be on top of that leaderboard again, for him to be the one leading the charge, because that's what he was known for in Season 1, was these crazy redirects, these angles. And he was always been an innovator, with the half flip and wave dashes and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm glad to see him hunker down. I know he was kind of losing faith in himself in the aspect of, I'm just not really that into it anymore. And I'm glad to see he's re-energized. It's exciting to see Sad Jr. be at the Covenant of Rocket League again.
And plus, it seems like he's grown a lot. Last season, he started becoming extremely good on the defensive side of the ball. It took a little while, but he got there. Now he's using both of those elements. His old style of his offense, but he still also got 8 saves in 5 games, so almost 2 saves per game. He's doing it on all sides of the ball, so it's really exciting to see. This team, FlyQuest, they just got picked up yesterday. So FlyQuest has to be thrilled with this pickup. Sad Jr.'s got to be thrilled. He's back again, trying to make it 4 for 4 for the World Championships, and it's a real possibility.
And especially considering that match was the first match of the day. So, Sad Jr., congratulations if you're still tuning in. I know you finished your matches a long time ago, but you're our Old Spice Player of the Week. Moms and sons agree. It practically smells itself. Huge congrats to Sad Jr. Really awesome storyline from him. And I'm sure FlyQuest acquiring a lot of fans due to that pickup, and we'll see how far they can make it in the RLCS. Gentlemen, we're done. That's going to do it for today. What an awesome day of Rocket League. And we're only halfway through. We have Europe happening tomorrow. But guys, before I close it out, any final words?
No final words. Just keep the stream on. In about 14 hours, we're back. So we're going to see a lot of great games tomorrow. Should be more chaos throughout the entire region of Europe. So definitely come check it out.
Hadel, control that emotion.
There you go. All right, I'm super excited for tomorrow. Same place, twitch.tv/Rocket League, right here. There's a button in the top. It's probably over here. It's a minimize button. Just do that. Just hit that or keep it up, whatever. Keep the stream on because you don't want to miss the action tomorrow. We're going to be starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. We're waking up early, so you guys better wake up early too. These are the best Rocket League players in Europe, all vying for a spot in the Rocket League Championship Series for the European region. For everyone here at the studio and everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. It has been a pleasure hosting, of course, the North American Finals leading into league play. Congratulations to all those teams that made it into league play tomorrow. We find out about Europe. It's going to be a ton of fun. We'll see you then.